In this video, I'll show you how we made this simple doorstop for our Spartan Manor camper trailer. In case you're new here, my name is Dan and I love to DIY things. And my mom and I have been working on restoring this 1949 Spartan Manor trailer for about 2 years now. And we're really starting to see the results. I don't know what the trailer would have originally had, but when we got it, it had this kind of doorstop. Mounted on the door itself was this rubber socket that would catch on this little metal post. But eventually we removed this and tried to clean up the surface below it, but the aluminum had been eaten away by galvanic corrosion. And you can see how badly the surface of the aluminum has been eaten away over the years by being in contact with the steel. We initially bought this steel one to replace the one that came with the trailer, but didn't go with it for a few reasons. The first is that it looked kind of bulky, and the second was that we didn't want this big spike sticking out the side of the trailer. And the third was that we didn't want the steel in contact with the aluminum, because that causes galvanic corrosion. So then we got these aluminum ones, which you can see are a lot bigger, and this post doesn't fold back like the other one did. And you can see this doesn't look great right here. And then you have a 3-inch spike sticking out the side of the trailer. And this actually takes quite a bit of force to put in. So that's another reason I don't like this. And it's really hard to take apart, but I'm sure it would break in over time. One of the first things we tried was this little magnetic ball and socket joint for cell phones. Obviously it sticks to steel, but not to aluminum. To help with that, we bought this 20-pound magnet and taped it to the inside of the trailer so that this ball and socket could stick to the outside. But this piece was so short, it would have had to be very close to the hinge of the door in order to meet both surfaces. But it still needed a magnet for the door side, so I cut off the threaded post of another 20-pound magnet and stuck it on with the double-sided tape that was already on this ball and socket joint. And that's looking better already. With a third 20-pound magnet, I'm now trying to match it up with the ball and socket doorstop. Then I taped this one to the door as well. Then I flipped the ball and socket around and saw that this just wasn't holding very strongly at all. I also didn't like how short it was, even if we were to add another magnet, and how close it had to be to the hinge, and I wasn't confident that any glue I'd use would hold it together for a long time. We also looked at this magnetic door catch for regular doors, but these were steel and would have had to have been mounted on the trailer. And because we thought the ball and socket would deal best with any angle that the door opens up to, we bought this one that was made for small action cameras, but ultimately didn't even try it. From those first attempts, we saw that the 20-pound magnets weren't strong enough, so we ordered these 40-pound magnets instead.
That was the previous size I tried, which had a 20-pound grab.
Using a bit of Gorilla construction adhesive, we stuck one to the inside of the trailer and put another one outside to help hold it together while the glue set.
Yeah, that's really good.
And this doorstop, of course, had to be wide enough so that the door handle wouldn't run into the side of the trailer. Here we're testing a piece of scrap plywood with a 7-degree angle cut on the door side. But that's not quite right. And there's 9 degrees, but let's try 10. And actually, it looks like 9 might have been a little bit better. And I think 9 is about as close as we'll get. Using a miter saw, we cut a nice piece of square oak to 9 degrees on one side and perfectly straight on the other. And we made this piece 3¼ inches long. Since the magnets already have threaded posts, we thought we'd drill some holes into this nice hard oak and simply screw them in. And with the first attempt, the hole wasn't quite big enough, so we drilled it out a little bigger. It took quite a bit of downward force to make the threads of the post finally bite and to screw the magnet into this piece of oak. Another way you could do this is by installing a T-nut or a threaded insert, but I didn't have those, and the oak seemed to be holding onto the threads just fine. But at last, there's our doorstop with the magnet on each side. With another magnet stuck to the inside of the door, I traced out its location, removed it with some difficulty, and glued it into place with some more construction adhesive. And these magnets like to align in a particular way, so just wiggle it until you find that position. It might be hard to tell here, but this magnet actually came off the door with the tar-like coating on it, and so I had to re-glue this on here directly to the aluminum. And so hopefully this will hold better this time. And you will find that the magnets like to be aligned a particular way with the one behind. So this is how it has its strongest grip. And if it's rotated, it's just not the same. But there, it's a lot harder. And no matter what, you can always just twist it off pretty easily. These 40-pound magnets hold the door really solidly. You can see from any jostling or wind. And in order to close the door, you can either just pull a little bit harder. You can see it's stuck to the door there. Or you can simply twist this out. Done. Now we have a nice solution that leaves the trailer without any spikes sticking out and no steel to aluminum contact. So if we hadn't experimented with all those alternative door catches, this part of the project might have only cost us around $80. There's about $60 for the 8 40-pound magnets for both doors, and it would be about $20 if you needed a piece of wood and the glue to put it together. In terms of time, this would have just taken a couple hours if I had known what I was doing from the beginning. So I hope this video has been helpful, and if you like videos like this, you might like this one here.